Welcome back to the shop. Today I was going to show you this portable pocket hole jig kit that I picked up recently from the old Harbor Freight store. Prior to that, I had this Blue Company's mini jig, and I thought originally, buy this, it was cheaper, it'll get by, I can do it, even if it's a little more work, save the money. Then I've watched enough guys using the K5 online, but I didn't want to quite spend that. Got some decent reviews on this one, so I thought let's give it a shot and see. If I don't like it, I can always sell it or stick it in a box for my son to take when he goes off on his own and starts his woodworking shop, and gives him a little bit of a head start. But for now, I have enjoyed it. I've already opened it up. We've got it over here. Came in this box. Everything was packaged well. Nice plastic around it. Came with all the screws. We did get some extra pocket hole screws. The one downside is they're a Phillips head. I think I would still stick with the Blue brand because they are the square head and I like those a little bit better. Came with the drill bit. Came with this for, I believe, doing, if you're not going to have it mounted like this, you can put it up against the board. I haven't used this yet. I don't know how much I will, so I'll keep track of it. The screws for that are in there along with the Allen wrenches for it. I've got them just sitting in the metal parts tray for now to keep them all together. Instruction manual and the unit itself. Pretty much came out of the box like this. There wasn't really any assembly, just adjust it and get started. I did screw it down to the board, and I've got it on the vise here. So the 4 screws were provided. I saw a trick online about the nickel, where to set it up, you place a nickel there, stick it in the hole you're going to use, and set your collar. As you can see on the side here, it's got 1 1/4 and 1 1/2 inch holes for you use this collar. For the 1/2 inch, 3/4 and 1 inch, you use this collar here. That's what I'm set up for right now because I am doing 3/4 inch pine boards. So I've got it set at that. So my collar is set. I slid it on there, tightened it down. We're good to go there. Right here, we got a dial to loosen it up. These can adjust independently of each other or even. I'm kind of an even guy. This is one of the things I like about this jig versus that little one I had, is that I can set this for what I'm doing on a project and just keep moving boards through versus having to move the jig all the time. I'm gonna go ahead and get that set there. So, and then you can see there you have measurements out from 0 on both sides out to 1 1/2 inches. The clamp here, you just loosen the nut. You can twist it in and out. I've got it set for my 3/4 boards. Clamp it down, drill your holes, move on. So let me get a board in there, get my drill bit in the drill, and we'll get started. I did note that it came with an instruction manual. It's pretty good. There was one little portion, where it didn't go into how to set up the drill bit. I got that from online, so I wish that was in the manual. It just kind of says, where you want it to come out, set it. It's like, well, it would be nice to get a little bit better direction on that. Also, there is 2 little screws here. They are for 1/2 inch boards. They go in down here in these holes to lift up the board so that it comes out at the right spot. I don't plan on using them much, but it is nice that they keep a spot for them right here on the setup. So let me get a board in there. I got a couple pocket holes to drill. We'll get that going and we'll be right back. So we have the pocket hole jig set up here. Got my first board that I'm gonna put on here. This one's pretty easy to line up center if that's what I want, which I do. I want 2 nicely positioned holes. These won't be entirely visible unless you really look underneath it, but I still would prefer, not to have them all off-centered. This board's the exact same width of this base, so pretty much put it in there. I've already adjusted this clamp, but you basically can adjust this nut and go ahead and clamp it down so that it's tight but not hitting everything. This is tight. We've got our bit on our drill already set the collar. And then according to the instructions, you want to put it into the hole here and then get it going and then basically drill your hole. So basically you're not going starting up here, starting your drill. You want to get it down in there a little bit and get close to the wood, bring it to full speed and go through. So we'll go ahead and get this drilled. just like that, we have two nice pocket holes in that board. A little bit of tear out there, but when we sand that, that'll be nice and smooth. I've used this one other time and it worked out. I've got this board here. This is going to be my back, so we're going to put that on there. Rough. I got a pretty good idea on where center is. However, with this one, I am going to go ahead and adjust it out a little wider. I want my holes. In fact, I think we'll measure it. Just because of the nature of this one, I think, 5.5 inches. I think we'll go ahead and mark 2.5. We'll go ahead and position it with that 2.5 line right on that one. Clamp that down, give her a hole there. Just because this is going to support a little bit of weight, I think I'm going to go to 3 holes, but I'm going to make them a little further out. So in this case, I think we're going to go out to that 1/2 inch mark. So basically 1.5 from the center on each side. Go ahead and position our board. Line that hole up with the middle. I think we're good there. Go ahead and give it a clamp and get our other holes drilled. This may be overkill to have 3. I get that, but I went ahead and did it anyways just to see. So, and that's our pocket holes right there. So we can get that on there in a moment. Get this one up here, but I think first we're going to go ahead and sand these. So let me know your thoughts on this jig. The one other downside I can see with it is obviously there's no dust collection. I do know that the K5 does have dust collection, so I'm not saying the K5 is a bad tool at all. I think it would be fantastic. I just wanted to save a little bit of money. I'll vacuum this up with my shop vac. I have it out anyways. The other thing I have seen is a few guys who take, and I have one here, a crevice tool, and they cut it down and put it into here. I was going to do that with this one. However, this is from our old vacuum. It doesn't hook up to my shop vac. It's not the same size. So I think I need to go online and order a shop vac one specifically that will, a small one to fit in there and modify it. Again, there's a video for that out there on how to do that dust collection. Once I get it set up, maybe we'll come back and review it. Overall, I'm happy with the jig. It has sped up to where I can make these pocket holes much quicker than I used to be able to with the little jig, and I think it'll work out well for me. So as you can see, we're outside a certain store, and why we're here is the Drill Master pocket hole jig that I had purchased. I was reviewing. I used it on a project today. I did have some video of it, but basically what ended up happening is I got a ton of tear out. We can take this off now. A ton on the drill bit where it comes around, blowing out my thing. So, my K5, or not my K5, my Craig jig, my little one, I don't know what it's called, portable one, just 2 holes, clamps on. Never had that. So I decided, in this case, since I'm still within my 90 days, within the return policy, and I'm not happy with it, that I was going to bring it back. And that's what I've done. So I cannot recommend it just based on that. Now, I was using pine. I did another couple test pocket holes earlier on some other things. Those were pine also, and it worked great. So I don't know if it was the wood, the bit. I just wasn't happy with it today. So I thought, before I get outside the period, I'm going to bring it back. I'm going to take that money and I'm going to apply it towards a different pocket hole tool. And we'll do a review on that one once we get it and see if we can do better with that one. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe and hit that thumbs up. And have a good day.